Hello, it's Matty coming at you with another Planet Zoo Console Edition video. Welcome back to Eden Gardens Zoological Park. In the last episode, we made a start on the Lemur Enclosure, and today's plan is we are going to get that completely finished, all of the exterior done, all of the staff facilities all the way around, and I also think we need to address a couple of little issues because we haven't got any power coming over towards these elephants. The water that I placed down doesn't quite reach, so we're going to need to address that also. I have moved the lemurs into the trade centre so we can just focus on building, and today's episode is going to be another one filled with lots and lots of time lapses. Apologies in advance, but I'm going to go through how I go around building this entire enclosure. We have got a lot of work to do, so let's make a start, shall we? So first off, we're going to use this Tiger rock cladding, and we're going to go all the way around the edging of the enclosure, putting this just parallel to the fences. Due to the terrain constraints, I had to flatten out the surrounding area, and then putting the roof tile pieces in, we can put the pathing in afterwards, and this should line up a lot better than it did before. With the roof tiles and the terrain now done, now we can continue with this Tiger rock going all the way, filling out the entire edge. With that now done, we now need to start thinking about things that we can use to decorate this enclosure, because right now it's just one big black fence. We need other things to start decorating it and making it feel more vibrant. I'm starting off using these girder pieces that you can find in the New World architecture, and by using 4 of them we can go around and put these around and start putting some more detail in. I love using different types of wood in any kind of enclosure or exhibit that I do, as I think all of the different types of wood add such a different look to an enclosure. So going around all the way around the top and all the way around the bottom, we're going to add them, and then we're going to put some big thick logs going around the outsides. I decided I didn't like these ones, so I'm going to get rid of them, and instead I'm going to use these really big, thick Planet Zoo log and go round with them instead. With the exterior now all done, now we can start thinking about things that we can bring into this enclosure. I thought rather than try and build all of these climbing frames freehand, I'll use some of the in-game blueprint ones. So I'm going to place all of them down here, and then we can start putting some of these into the enclosure, but we can tweak them and make them original as we go. Putting some of these little stands just outside the hard shelter, we need to think about how the lemurs are going to be able to access these hard shelters right up the top, because right now they're a little bit high. We also need to think about how they're going to be able to climb over the guests, so we're going to need to ensure that we use some climbing pieces going over there. Now we're just copying all of them over, filling it out, making sure that the lemurs have got lots of climbing. They're going to require so much. So we're going to just bring all of these in, tweak them as we go. Because we put that one a little bit higher, we need to bring some of them logs coming down to ensure that they can reach them. With all the climbing frames now in place, now comes the fun part where we can start decorating and getting foliage inside this enclosure. Using the small blueprint that I made, which is mostly consisting of small faux rocks, it's around 300 pieces, but we can start putting these along the floor of the enclosure. I tried putting this in the elephant enclosure, yet for some unknown reason they couldn't walk over them, which is very strange because the lemurs can navigate them with no problem whatsoever. Now I just need to go around and replace all of the roof that I had to delete, because trying to put all of these items inside the enclosure with the roof on was an absolute nightmare. I should have known in advance, don't put the roof on until you've decorated inside. It was a rookie mistake. I think it's time we get some lemurs back inside here to see if they can escape or not. So let's just grab them, let's put them in, we'll speed up time even more, and here they come. Let's see if you guys can escape. So I've only brought the 2 in for now, just the 2 black and white rough lemurs, and can you guys escape? Right, so I believe that's because the habitat border doesn't go out far enough, so that is quite easily fixable. Right, okay, they can get into the guest area and then escape from there. We need to go and fix that, don't we? Right, let's try and sort that out. So by going around and redoing the entire border once again, hopefully this will fix where the hard shelters are and they shouldn't be able to escape from there. So we need to go around and just delete all of these. And now the border actually goes all the way around the outside of the enclosure. So just delete that one and delete that, and delete that one. Right, there we go. That should have sorted the problem where the hard shelters are. Now, can you guys still escape or not? Let's have a look at your traversable area. Oh, wrong button. Try again. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, I need to make everything non-climbable for a second, don't I? So after going around all of the exterior of the habitat, I've made all of the wooden logs on the outside non-climbable. Hopefully that has fixed the problem. It does appear to. I think we are sorted, right. And they can climb all the way around. They can access the hard shelters. That is absolutely fantastic. Let's just have a double quick check again just to make sure. Yeah, you can climb all up there. Brilliant. Right, so now we can start getting some foliage down inside here. I was having a real fight at this moment as it kept trying to align to the surface, and I kept turning it off and it kept coming back on, and I tried using the technique that I used before where I would put one down, delete it, and then try and put another one, and it still didn't work. What ended up fixing it was coming out of the nature menu completely and then going back in, and then it seemed to align properly. Very bizarre. Frontier, please fix it because it's so annoying. As what is seemingly becoming the norm these days, I've spent an obscene amount of time placing foliage. The vast majority of my time in this game so far has either been placing rocks or placing foliage. That's all I've done. Forget about looking after animals, this is Nature and Rock Simulator 2024. I thought it would look really cool if the letters went white, black, but it looked terrible. The black did not work on that girder at all. So instead I just made it all orange. I think that looks a lot better. We've just got a little bit of tidying up to do. The Nile monitors have aged up, so let's just grab a handful of them and trade them out because we've got some overpopulation going on there. You may be wondering, Matty, why don't you just pause the game as you're building? We need money. I'm spending so much money at the moment, I'm needing to keep the game playing as I'm building just so I can keep that money flow incoming. And with that, I think the actual enclosure itself is done. I think the lemurs will be absolutely fine in here. Don't worry, that is not the end of the episode. We've still got a lot more to do today. Whilst the actual inside bit of the lemur enclosure is done, there's still a lot more work to do around the exterior, getting all of the staff facilities done. We need to sort out the path coming up here. We need to get all the education down, the donation bins down. But I think for inside, I think we are sorted. The lemurs look quite happy. We've got loads of guests up here right now, but we do need to sort out around that outside, don't we? And get all of the new staff facilities. Oh, hello there. Are they using the hard shelters? Yes, they are. Brilliant. Right, okay, let's make a start on this exterior. So we're going to put an entire new set of staff facilities on the outside here, and we'll have the hard shelters coming out over the top of them. With the staff facilities now all in place, now we're going to go around using the same wood texture that we used there to keep it all coherent. I really like how this facility actually looks out into the enclosure itself. That was a happy accident. I didn't mean to do that, but now it's there. Let's utilise this moment and actually have that window out looking into the enclosure. That was a real pain to do. It just wouldn't go in properly at all. That's what she said. Sorry. So I had to split it off the grid build. I've put myself off now. Why do I do this to myself? I'm so sorry. I'm so childish. One day I'll grow up. I had to remove the building off the grid so I could then free move it across. It was really difficult to get lined up properly. But with that done, I think now we can get all of the pathing in and start finishing off decorating this. What you are not seeing is all the rage behind the camera trying to get this pathing to work. It's a good job you can't hear my actual commentary whilst placing this path, as my channel would most likely get banned. We're almost done with this build. We just need to ensure that the windows have got the proper window pieces on, just to get a bit of light on there and give the building a little bit of extra detail. And I think we'll use a new type of roof tile for the flooring here. We've used the same one throughout the zoo so far, but with this being an entire new area of the zoo completely, we'll go for a bit of change of scenery and we'll use this breeze block wall floor. I said that first time. Are you impressed? I'm actually impressed myself with that. Normally I would have tripped over that 4 times before saying it properly. We're now just going around the entire backstage area, adding all of the foliage to try and hide this from the guest sightline. This nettle piece has very quickly become one of my favourite pieces in the game. I don't even want to know how many nettle patches there are in this zoo, but it'll be a lot, trust me. Like with all the other areas of the zoo and the enclosure so far, I'm just going through all of the different types of foliage and then just layering it up layer by layer, adding more and more to bring it to life. These dry bushes are also absolutely amazing. By putting some of them inside the foliage that you've already placed, it just looks fantastic and it gives such a good effect. We're just putting some ivy patches on the roof, just dropping it down ever so slightly so it looks like it's dropped in between the wood panels. I just need to add the staff path back there once again, and I think that is now all sorted. Unfortunately, the lemurs can escape there, and I'm not sure what's going on. Why can they escape from that area? There's a little bit of climbable ivy right there. I'm wondering if that is the problem. So if we delete them ivy pieces, now can you still escape? No, that's the habitat, Matty. That's still the habitat, Matty. Click on the lemur! There we go. Right, can you still escape? You can't. Right, why can you escape there? Surely it's not that ivy patch. It can't be. I wouldn't have thought so. try that. Let's have a look at your true. It was! Okay, go figure. Right, okay. I think that is now sorted. So they can't escape from anywhere else. And that is the lemur enclosure all done. So let's go and have a look inside. We've still got a little bit more work to do for this episode. We need to do the path coming up. We need to get some more electric and we need to get the water down. But we've got all of the staff facilities in there. You've got the habitat gate. You've got the window that looks out into the actual enclosure itself. So you'll be able to see the staff inside there working away. But I'm really happy with how that has come together so far. But we do have a couple more jobs to do just before we finish. So let's go and do them, shall we? Because of the length of this video and the amount of time lapses that would have been required to have shown everything that I've done, I've just done all of this off camera. It took me forever, trust me. But we've placed a new power source and a new water supply because the water source for the elephants wasn't clean. They were getting sick and the ones I'd got either side just weren't reaching at all. So we've put a new one underground here. Unfortunately, we couldn't use the wind one because, of course, it's underground. It wouldn't have worked. So we had to put one of the generators just back there. But as we come up the path, we put all of the rocks either side to just blend this in a little bit. And then you can see the lemur enclosure just behind the trees. We've put some more rocks. We've put some more foliage coming down here. And then you can look out over towards the elephant enclosure. Of course, the guests won't be able to access that, of course. And then as we get back onto the path again, now, there was a little bit of a step here and I couldn't really adjust that. So instead, I just put some rocks there and I actually made it into an actual step itself. And let's go and look inside the exhibit, shall we? So we've got the education boards. We've got the donation bins down. We've got the speakers that are dropped below the floor. And you can just look at all of the lemurs around you at all times. Unfortunately, right now, they're all seeming to congregate around this one corner. I think I might need to adjust some things and move some things around just to try and encourage them to use the entire enclosure rather than all gathering in that one corner. You can look out and see the worker just inside the hut over there. And let's go and have a look inside at the work area. So you've got the gates there, just separating it away from the guests. And you come round, you've got the wind turbine just on the right hand side over there. And as you come through, it looks a little bit bland and a little bit plain in there, but it's a backstage staff area. It didn't need too much, to be honest. And then you come out into the enclosure. And I'm really happy with how this entire build has come together. It was a big project. It took me an entire day. Despite this video only being around 25 minutes, I had about 5 hours worth of footage to compress down into this video. It really did take a long time, but I think the end result was worth it. I had a rough picture again in my head of what it is that I wanted to do, and I'm really happy with the final result. You're going to have to let me know what you guys all think. But a couple of little quick things just before we end the video. I do want to have a look at the percentage counter, and I'm also curious to see how much of a piece count this is, because I'm imagining this is going to be a hefty piece count. I'm going to hazard a guess at around 6,000. So the percentage has now gone up to 42%. So that's actually quite a big jump. I believe we've gone up around 8% just with this one build alone. So if we select everything, because there are so many things all grouped together, we're going to have to select everything and then ungroup everything just to see how much this is. So let's have a look, shall we? 8,400. Wow, that's a lot more than I was expecting. Wow, that is a big piece count. This is probably too big to actually blueprint, so I don't think I'm going to be able to put this on the workshop, I don't believe. But there we go. There is the lemur enclosure done. You're going to have to let me know down below what you guys all think. But hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll be back very soon with more Planet Zoo content. Until then, take care, stay safe, look after yourselves, and I will see you all very soon. Bye, everybody!